All right, we're back with another episode of Another Talented Behind the Scenes with your very own Jelan Abrams and Charnae Janice. Jelan, happy,
Oh,
happy, happy Sunday. It's the start of a new week. Um, how you feeling? I guess you hype.
yeah, I'm
You feel
hype. I'm
good?
hype. Yeah, I'm pretty good. Sunday, we got like a couple days to edit this thing, so yeah, y'all see this fresh.
Lord.
But yeah,
Yeah, no, I feel good. It was a fun weekend. We hung out. My family came down. My siblings live in different parts on the East Coast, so it's always fun. We hang out, and then also I always like to before I start a new week, just decompress a little bit in the afternoon. So I took a little nap. I watched some old
a little
TV.
nap. Sound like a light.
I took a little nap. And then woke up, watched a couple episodes of like old sitcoms because I love watching like Half and Half, um, A Different World. He got me into Martin, Moesha. So I just, it's just I like when this stuff is just a little light humor, nothing, you know, nothing crazy, but just a nice little flow into the week.
Yeah, I agree. I love those oldie shows because we don't have stuff like that no more. So
No,
you get to be into, like you said, the Martin, Fresh Prince. I haven't seen Family Matters in a minute, but yeah, I'm about to check that
dang,
out.
classic.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like all
yeah,
those shows kind of just take you back to your
yeah.
oldie days.
No, that's real. And it was funny because like when I start my week, I like to get into my flow, get my headspace right. And watching Moesha, like the girl is that get it. She would like start her week or like the episode starts and she has her journal. Baby girl got her pen and it had the little like and she was just like doing her little thing like my daddy is so mad, but I love Q and y'all just gonna be okay with it. My girls Niecy and Kim got my back. And I'd be sitting there like a teenager like, period. Like, talk your stuff, girl. So I just love that. For me, I think that's like a part of where I picked up my penning. And also it helps me flow into my week when I think about like just writing out my thoughts, like fleshing out fleshing out
Listen,
my emotion.
I mean, we just had a lot going on though. She had a lot of problems. So your life is like that. You gotta be
First of
journaling.
all, Moesha was spoiled. She made her own problems. And so in part, yes, my life as a teenager was like that at times.
Mm.
When it's like, really, girl, do you really have to be beefing with your friend about nothing? No. Did you start this drama in your life? Yes.
I didn't remember it. Like I watched it when I was younger, but I don't remember it like that. I just remember watching it like recently, and like she was like beefing with the stepmom for like the first couple episodes, and I was like, wow, I didn't even know it was her stepmom growing up,
Yeah.
But like
So you weren't
watching
paying
it back,
attention.
that wasn't my show though. Moesha was, I
Okay.
was more of a sister and stuff like that. Like not
Mm,
Moesha.
well, yeah, that wasn't. We're not going to. I'll break it down for you later. It's a good show, but it got me thinking about just journaling and writing. Like I said, just the inspiration for writing. I sort of think subconsciously seeing, her write and express her emotions and thinking about like on the Prop Family, the episode they did when they had like the poetry and Dejanay's writing, dealing with like her siblings, like how those things inspired me as a young person to take my emotions to writing creatively. So I feel like that sort of like piqued my interest. And it's something that we've both recently been like very much doing and trying to incorporate into our day just for beneficial reasons. So when you think about writing, like, are there certain moments you think sort of like were a catalyst for you thinking about journaling now?
Yeah, when I was in high school, I took an art class my senior year, so I was chilling. I was like, I'm doing whatever easy class I can get. So I picked art, and the thing that he's had us do, we had to buy a notebook. And before we started the class, like the first thing we did was just write down. It was like stream of consciousness writing, where basically we just writing anything. So it was just like, oh, that what is it? Yeah, y'all can't see everything. So let's say the cabin, that cabin and it's black. Why? I wonder what cups are in there, or whatever kind of comes to your mind. Oh, that's green, or this computer's running. These lights are bright. Whatever's coming to your mind, you're just legit writing down on the paper, and it kind of like just empties out your mind. So now you're able to create without thinking any of those things. So that's kind of where I started my writing, and then later on in my life, I read this book called Artist Way, The Artist Way, where it was this thing called morning pages, where you legit wake up, you have to write 3 pages, 3 full pages of stream of consciousness my hand was tired. That's all I got to say. Like the last 2 pages was chicken scratch, but you're just like legit writing everything out. So now your mind is empty and you're just able to think about, your creative, whatever creativity you're doing. So that's kind of where I started. It was really cool, but after a while, like my hand was cramping up. 3 pages is a lot. So
It's a lot.
yeah, but it was cool. It was cool to do.
Yeah, I remember like thinking about writing. I don't know if you remember like high school, you had a certain amount of pages and you had those people that had like really big. I always had little handwriting. So I hated it because I had like, I'm trying to make my handwriting bigger because it's like, all right, write a page and a half. And then some people get like, what was it? Like, y'all doing back to school. Y'all know the vibes, like the bigger line spacing. Yeah. Like people would get the certain things and then the teachers will like call you out on it. Like, we're trying to get the, paper where you trying to, make it look like you wrote more. Like, no, I want 2 pages in this type rule. And you be like, yeah. So that's funny.
That's actually crazy because I just remember like typing stuff up. I don't remember paper. So
I mean, elementary school, I feel like we were writing and
2
then
pages in elementary school.
Maybe not. Well,
that's what I'm trying to say is like, when would you have writing 2 pages?
Well, I think it was paper? Like, well, I just mean I wasn't writing 2 pages in elementary school, but elementary school we were definitely doing more like writing. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I was in the, the gifted classes. We still had longer papers. I'm just saying I had pen pals. I remember I had a pen pal at Catawba College. Mm-hmm. And even then there was like a certain amount they wanted us to write about and like share about our experience. So I still feel like they had us writing a lot, which I guess also sort of like tuned me to like things that I'm working on now to just like flesh things out, add those details, go back in because they didn't want us just like, quickly jotting down a note or two. They were like, no, like flesh it out, right? Like this person doesn't know you, explain more. So I was writing. I've been writing for a minute.
I think my problem is like we learned how to do cursive for no reason. Like we legit learned. I remember 3rd grade trying to learn all the letters. For what?
Speak for yourself. I got a bomb autograph. When this pops off, signing everything.
Do people even want signatures anymore? They don't even want signatures. They just want pictures. Like, who wants somebody's signature? Oh, let me get your autograph. It's like,
dang, that might be a waste then.
Yeah, they probably still teaching it. My nephew could be learning cursive. I learned how to write in cursive. I'm like, okay, well, they wasted your time, buddy.
Well, Anyway, thinking about that mental component, I think that's such a value, especially now there are so many ways that you can like decompress. And I think people that like still enjoy journaling realize that it's such a help in that like way. Like you're saying before, I'm trying to do something creative or to start your day. I journal everything and I have journals for everything because I think having writing is such a pivotal thing. I think for me, spiritually, journaling has been so important. If you know me personally in my life, it's been like a more stressful season of work. But for me, like I keep all of my journals. So these are just a few. I have so many journals. But
okay, well you gotta say for the audio listeners, she has 5 was it 4 or 5?
This is 4, but
4 journals.
A very small stack. Like this is probably just from this year. Yeah, this is just from this year. My journals from this year. And I keep all my journals. So like right now, like with the stress of work, there have been promises God has given me about the role before I even knew it existed. So when I get to a season where it's difficult, like, yeah, I'm still irritated, but I've been able to go back to those writings. For those of you that have your Bible app, the scripture Habakkuk 2:2, it says, "Then the Lord said to me, write the answer plainly on tablets so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. Or write the revelation and make it plain. Write down the vision and clearly inscribe it." So it's giving this instruction from God. I thought that was...
Say that scripture one more time just in case they missed it.
I'm sorry, I read like 3 different translations. So I read the New Living Translation, English Standard Version. But the Lord...
scripture, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's all. What is it?
Habakkuk 2:2. For those of you who want to read it later, you pop it up on the screen. Like,
oh yeah, I could have done that. But yeah, audio too. Though.
But audio too. But the Lord said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets. And I thought it was cool too, not just write it on tablets. So even then they're saying like physically write this down, so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. So I think it's important for you to have things that, especially if God is clearly giving you vision for something, an assignment, an instruction, a promise, having that. So there would absolutely be a season where something is difficult. Even I think about us writing our wedding vows. It's like there are things that you write down so that when you need to hold on to those promises, those truths, you have it.
I don't have my wedding vows. I don't know what other paper.
They're in your drawer.
Oh, I still got it. Okay. Mine look like chicken scratch, so I don't think nobody can read.
I hope you can read your own handwriting. You read them the day of the wedding.
We're not talking about that.
Anyway.
We're not talking about that, okay?
Anyway,
next subject.
When you have something that you've written down, then you can go back to it. So like I said, these are a couple journals for those watching the visual I have just from this year, but I keep journals. I have journals. I would say the past 5 years of my life have been extremely pivotal for a lot of the things that God has inspired me to do creatively, things I'm working on now, promises I've held on to, even writing out vision and instruction from God before I was dating Jelan that would carry me through our courting and dating season with each other. Like, you want to have these things written down. And I think it's interesting. Even we've been doing our study of Exodus. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got two things I want to talk about
Okay,
before
go
you
ahead.
keep moving.
You got it. I'm gonna take a water break.
She be moving. So I was actually gonna ask you a question. Take the water.
I'm sorry. I got it. I'm thirsty.
Sorry, audio listeners.
For the audio, if they don't know, I'm drinking water. All right, go ahead.
So I got two different topics I want to hit before we move to the next one. So the first one, for me, when I did journaling, I never went back to actually, read my journals. I just write it and just move on. Mm-hmm. So how does actually writing it and going back to those periods when you are, going back to those periods while you're in a difficult season in your life, how does that help you?
I think something about me is like there are a few things that are really encouraging to me when I'm in a difficult season. And so like blind optimism, I love my team at work, but it's like, they're just like, hey, it's like, we're doing this and, all the like encouragement and hype that just doesn't sit well with me. It's not that I don't think they mean well. I'm just like, I need something tangible. Like God's word is true. He doesn't fail. He doesn't change. And so companies shift and things change and, organizations do what they got to do for business, for their bottom line. That is what it is. But like what God said about me, what he said to me, I know is for me. Like nobody can shift that. So for me, going to my journals, going to something that I, voice memo, something I wrote down, like I can go back to it and hold on to, if nothing else, a promise from God. There will be many things that shift when it comes to people, that's just is what it is. But God is not a man that he will lie. So for me, going to that word, it gives me encouragement, and it gives me that ability to hold on until I can figure out, what it is that God is doing. But he's at least giving me that promise. And so many times you see it in the word too, like he gives you that promise. And it may be a season where like, that's what you're holding on to. Like I told you, I'm gonna do this for you. And you just have to keep believing, keep enduring. So having that written down with the date, you can go back and look. And that way also in seasons when I'm past that situation, right? Then I can go back and be like, well, God, he didn't fail me in this situation. So why would he start? He doesn't change. He's not going to fail me now. So I think it's just that encouragement that I need and gets me back in a good mental place.
Yeah, no, that's good. Because I tried to go back and like read my old stuff and just like, what was I talking about? Because like I said, basically when I read my journal, like the first 3 sentences legible. After that, I'm just going. I'm just like,
Accidentally read one of your journals.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Don't read people's journal. Okay,
that's
two
a good
stories.
point. That's a good point. Well, can I tell you about you reading my journal?
Okay.
So this is why you can't write your personal stuff in your journal. So
I wasn't trying to. We were cleaning up before we moved into the house. I didn't know what the book was. We were trying to throw stuff away or keep stuff. For context, go ahead.
Yeah, all I hear is I'm gonna say another name because I'm gonna put the name out there.
But, okay.
So I'm out there in the living room cleaning up. She says, "Who's Kayla?" And I said, "Whoa, what's going on?" So I take the book and I throw it away.
I was just kidding. It was just a very like concise sentence. I was like, "Oh, like I have old journals that I wrote about people."
Still.
It was years ago. I wasn't mad. I just was trying to figure out Like, do you want to keep this? Like, I wouldn't be mad if you wanted to keep
Why would I
it.
want to keep that though? That's crazy.
Like, for me, it's like I have old things where I wrote about somebody, and it's like one thing I'm like, this person's the one, and the next thing I'm like, God, if you don't get rid of this person, because if I got to do it, you're not going, you know. And so it's it's funny to me now because I'm like, look at God, he was faithful too. That man is gone. He is so kind and righteous. So I wouldn't have been mad if you wanted to keep it, but he threw it away like as soon as
Yeah.
he threw it away.
Because what I think about though, I think about the show How I Met Your Mother. I don't know if he actually wrote this stuff down, but he's telling the stories to like the kids. It's like, oh, How I Met Your Mother. It's like you write it down every single woman you've been with and all the details. I'm like, I'm throwing that away.
Kids gonna need to know that. I mean, hey, you know.
I understand it's a lot.
But yeah, that was an accident. But back in my day, I definitely tried to read my sister's journal on purpose. Because like if you know me and my sister, we're best friends now. But when we were kids, it was just we was always just irritating each other. So she had oh man, I wish I had looked it up. It was one of those cool lock journals that you had a password and you had to like say a secret code or enter a password.
Dang, that's some high-tech stuff right
It was
there.
cute though, and it was like bright pink and purple, and I would try to imitate her voice, and sometimes I could do it right, and it would unlock. And then I'd be read her business, read all about her little Moesha like chronicles with her boyfriend at the time, because yeah, it was just,
don't share too much.
it was just fun. Oh no, I mean she don't care. She
Yes,
she knows I was reading her
this
journal,
is the public
but she
show.
hid it under her bed. So I would like try to I would have to military crawl under the bed and get it, and I had because they be at band practice and stuff like that. So I was home and I would do that. Oh man, I used to Centra Brown, and I just different pitches until it.
Oh my god! So what advice we're gonna give to these people then? Because we got people if they got somebody like you in their life reading their journals,
Keep your stuff locked up.
they did, and you got into it.
Do a better job. No, I mean, oh, back to journaling. I'm using myself with these stories.
I'm just saying,
It's
like,
so funny.
I'm just saying because you said you want to write stuff. Let's say you're going through it,
Yeah.
right? And let's say for our child is journaling, and they're going through the journal. I mean, they're writing their journal, writing what they're going through. You cleaning up and you reading it, and now it's like, oh wow, that's how you feel about me for real. It's like that was their safe space.
Well, I think I would have. I think I would have just a sympathy for, or like an empathy, because along with journaling, I would respect more if my child has a place of privacy where if they need to vent, they can do that. I messed up. And so journaling is also really great because again, you have emotions, you have things, everything doesn't need to be shared in masses. Everything doesn't need to be shared online. It's good to have private spaces where when you're trying to like filter through your emotions, you can do so. High school, I was so ready to go to college. Like I was like, ugh, about to go live my best life. And so my tweets during that period, honey, I'm out here like ready to get up out this house. I'm doing my own thing, like Miss Independent. Like my parents really just they don't even know I'm about to be making moves out here. I was flexing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was flexing so hard. And like I said, me and my sister, we were still like bigger with each other during this time. We got really close when I went to college. She snitched, man. She snitched. My mom was so mad. Like, I know you out here on Twitter talking about me. Yo, that was a rough
You can't
week.
do that though. Like,
You're right. You're right. But I'm just saying. So if my child, if I see something on accident in a journal, I'm gonna be happy. Like, well, at least you knew not to. At least you ain't out on the threads talking about me.
No, that is crazy. You talk about your family on because the thing about it is like when I talk about people on Twitter,
I mean, it wasn't nothing
anymore.
personal. It was just like I was just hyping up the fact that I was about to be independent, and I feel like it didn't go over well. But I was ready to spread my wings. I was hype.
No, I think it's like it's funny how people got. I don't even know how we got into this. We're talking about journalists is going left.
Well,
But it's like they had like the sub tweet or like the sub things and like a story where you write something, but like the person knows you talk about that, but the whole world doesn't know. Like that's kind of stuff you want to talk about. It's like I know she ain't coming here with that yellow and something, but they don't put their name out there.
best thing best is just get you a journal.
Get
Okay.
you a journal. Okay. And second topic that we're talking about. So you're talking about before we actually dated. So one thing that you said, hopefully you don't mind me sharing this, but
Yeah, go ahead.
chop it out if not.
No, that's fine.
Okay, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Okay. Okay, all right. Well, so when we actually were dating, what she said she was actually doing was writing down how she felt after each date. So
Oh
kind of like
yeah.
a recap of that. So yeah, talk more about that, because a lot of people listen to us, watching us. We're a married couple, you know what I'm saying? They trying to be like us. So that's something that she was doing, because I know a lot of women talk about these men ain't bleep. You was actually, writing down your emotions after it. Talk about that experience and how that
Yeah.
helped you.
And I feel like I saw that because sometimes people have different like journal ideas and things. So when I was like just single, looking through like just building more of a foundation on like relationship, biblical understanding relationship, there was an influencer, I don't remember her name, but she's a believer, and she was just saying like something that was helpful for her was after each date, just like recapping like the experience, what you did, how they felt, the qualities of that person, like was it mirroring things that they had prayed about or asked God for. And so it kept you accountable, because I mean, first and foremost, if we just being real out here, where there's dudes that is just like come over and chill and hang out, like, well, let's first thing first, it's a date recap. So it's like, first of all, there should actually be a date to have a date recap. So if you just come on to lay at his place and he come on to lay at your place, it's like, well, that's not really a date. So you already having to start writing some things down. Like if every journal entry is like, it's midnight and he came over, it's like we're already getting to some things that may be alluding to the fact that this person may not be your Boaz. That's a biblical joke. The girls that get it. But it's
I didn't get it.
I know. I said I'm like it. You'll get it. Look, read it. Give y'all some homework. It's a good story in the Bible about a man named Boaz. But yeah, so it was helpful for me because I had to really assess again mentally and emotionally, like and I would do it like within 24 hours of the day. So I wouldn't do it like right after, believe it or not, because sometimes you're still just on the like,
Cloud
yeah,
nine.
the butterflies
She
of
was up
it.
there. She, you know what I'm saying? After the date, she floating. She can't even sit down. Sorry.
So once you settle out of some of those emotions, then it's really sitting with yourself and be like, well, how did I feel? And like, what did we do? And, did I enjoy myself? And so it was really helpful. So I definitely encourage it for men and women. Like, think about this experience. Did you enjoy yourself? Like, did they, treat you in ways you want to be treated? Did they inspire thoughts you don't normally have? Like, those are things you should be thinking about, not only the fact that there's attraction there.
Yeah, I kind of wish I did that to go back, but at that point, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna stick around, because me, I'm the first date king. The first date's up here, you know what I mean? It's gonna be fire. After that, I don't know. So I definitely didn't want to be journaling and have a bunch of dates on, oh, it's first date went good, then I didn't want that.
And then, yeah, it's funny. You were the first time I did that, though.
Okay,
Yeah, at
first
least
and
for the
last
days.
time, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. That's
Yeah.
you want to be married? Take some notes.
Like I said, I had journals about other experiences of dating, but I think even if I would have started those logs in that way, it probably wouldn't have lasted long. Like I would have had to assess it better and been like, girl, you're not even in a relationship with this man. This is an entanglement. Like, let's go ahead and dead this.
Would you? So I know you said you like to keep like your journals and stuff. Do you think you would have thrown those away? Like, let's say the dates didn't go good and you had them, would you throw them away, or would you?
A handful I still have, but it's because it was like interwoven between my day-to-day life. So like the whole journal was not about that man.
But I know like now, like when we started dating, the whole journal was about me.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the whole thing about you.
She just
I
fun.
bet you think this song is about you. It's okay, babe. It wasn't all about you, but
you said it was just about the date. You said it was like your date journal, wasn't it?
Mm-mm. No, I journaled after the dates, but it was just interwoven in my day-to-day life. Now, I mean, respectively, that season did become very much about our relationship because it continued. But, in those other situations, it was like a short stint of that year, and then the year continued, and,
Got it.
It was cool. But yeah, that one really is mostly you. But I mean, the first half of that year was just other stuff going on, just trying to get my life together. I started a new job.
Life changed on that first day.
Anyway.
It did. You laughing, but it really did. Then the next topic. I'm kind of stuck now. We was rolling. What's the next topic? So we just talked about journaling in general, trying to get like I guess we talked about like it being a safe space. We talked about that a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Not really. Okay. Well, no,
I mean, I
I
can
want to
share
talk
for
about it
you.
more. Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to talk
you're.
more about it more. So for me, I think journaling is important, especially for a man, because I don't think men have safe outlets to express themselves. Because like nobody wants to hear a man complaining about anything. You know, it's like all the women on social media is complaining about the men. Men can't really complain about. I'm saying they really can't. So it's like I think journaling is good for me. So when I was in high school, we did the pages of journaling, and I did like the artist way where I did 3 pages, and then after that, whenever I felt like overwhelmed, I guess it's not a good thing that you really didn't know who to really speak to, but I just felt like journaling helped me where I'm able to get those thoughts out. Whereas like now I have a safe spot. No, nobody's gonna read it. Read my journal, and I can get.
Wow, shade.
But nobody's gonna read my journal. But I just be able to legit do any feelings or any thoughts or any emotions I feel. If I'm sad, I'm writing down in that journal, and then it's kind of like off my mind. So I usually do mine in the morning. If I ain't do it in the morning, I'll do it at night because you want to make sure you have a good sleep. So I
Yeah,
probably do it once a day. I think in one area of my life I did do it twice a day, but for the most part I was doing it once a day.
yeah. And I think that applies to and definitely a value for men. I mean, I think biblically, the book of Psalms, most of it is attributed to David, and he's writing from his joys to lamenting and pouring out his heart to God. So I think it can be helpful for those that sometimes struggle with prayer of like, what do I write? What do I say to God? One of my homegirls, she's like, me and God, we be hashing it out in my journal. Like I just let him know how I feel, and it
Mm-hmm.
tickled me. But you have to have that space, like you said, that somewhere safe that you can take those emotions and clarify that. So I think it is again just good to have those spaces and something that you feel at ease when it comes to releasing those emotions, and then still, have people who are a safe space with certain pieces, but there are certain things that you will only share with God and like, just flesh out some things you feel and you're like, I won't feel like this forever, but I just need to like decompress and release it. Um, and I think it's cool. I think, even with that, it was funny because you were talking about like was one journal like dedicated to you. And I think it's cool if you have certain journals dedicated to things for certain seasons. If you want to make a journal just all about your dating and feel like that'll help you like reflect and get understanding, do it. Within my little stack for those watching visually, I have, like I said, my journal that's more of just day to day. This is just going through my life, my year. Um, this journal has been my dream journal. So I've been trying to spiritually unpack some things that I'm dreaming about. Um, I have my journal that's like my money journal, so that like different goals I have for saving, I can write more like about the tangible pieces connected, the emotional pieces connected to what I'm financially trying to build alongside of my budget. And then when we do our marriage meetings every week, then I have a journal just for that. So yeah, there are different spaces where you can just attribute different thoughts. Um, and all these cost me a little like $5.99 at Marshalls, Home Goods, TJ Maxx. This is not sponsored yet, but hang tight. But yeah, so they don't have to be expensive. You get you some at the $1.25, but wherever you want to go.
And then they got the $1.25. They don't got none there.
Yeah, journals at the $1.25
You gotta
store.
buy like Marshall, TJ Maxx. I've been getting mine, or even Walmart. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. Journals are important. I think that's
yeah.
why it's not gonna be cheap. You might find like a spiral notebook, but you don't want to
Well,
write
that's
your
what I
journal.
mean. I mean,
You don't
yeah.
want to write your journals in a spiral notebook. That's too much. That's a
Hmm.
big sheet of paper. Yeah. So, but another thing I've been doing, I like how she has like the different versions of it. I'm a little more. I brought my journals too, didn't I? Oh yeah. All right. So this is my what is it called? What journal is this? What journal is this one? Oh, this is one is the goals journal. So we talk about our goals and everything like that together, and then we just write it down here. This is my everyday journal. Got a little thing in there, so I'm kind of like more than halfway through with this journal. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And my wife, hopefully, she doesn't read it, but if she does, the trick is to write scribble scrabble. You know what I'm saying? It's like the first couple lines is whatever, and anything you want to air out in the bottom, just scribble scrabble. Because the main thing is just to get it out. You know,
Yeah.
it's the main thing is to get it out. It's me. I don't care about reading it back. I just mainly just trying to get it out, so I'm not thinking about it anymore. I know a thing that my dad always wanted me to do was like meditate. I've tried a few times, and it's kind of tough because I'm waking up early. So I wake up most times. I try to wake up at 5. I try to meditate at 5. I'm sleeping. I might fall asleep. So it's like I said, if I journal, I'm legit still doing something. So it's a
Yeah.
little harder to fall asleep because meditating. I read Russell Simmons' book where he basically said, close your eyes, humming and all that stuff. If I'm closing my eyes, I'm knocked out. So I said, I'm not doing that now. It was hard for me. So if y'all do it, that's good. But I feel like journaling is an easier way for me to stay up and to keep it moving. So
And stay active with it. Yeah, no, I like
mhm.
that. I think it's definitely, finding that time of the day too. And then, as much as we love physical journals, there are like journal prompts and things that your phone can populate. Like it's weird. I got the iPhone and like I'll go somewhere and then it's like journal prompt. Like, would you like to write about going out today to, this place? And I'm like, first of all, why are you following me? Technology got a little too much access to my,
What is telling you? What does it
yeah,
say?
like we went out, like let's say for instance, we went to a festival. And
Okay.
they'll be like, "Oh, hi, would you like to write about your experience at the festival?" Yeah, 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 yeah. Because it's like all this location stuff. You don't be thinking about it, but it's like, I mean,
But is that like a rating for the actual place or is
no, it's a journal thing. It's like a little journal app. And it'll pop up and ask you like, would you like to write? So if you are someone who likes to do it in your phone, it sort of creeped me out the first time. I looked over my shoulder like, what in the world? But I need to turn the
yeah,
location
no, the
settings off
phone
on
is
that because it
phone
was
is
sort of
kind of
weird.
crazy. It's I just remember every time I get in the car and like let's say on Saturdays we do the Walmart pickup. Hey, don't judge me. It's easy. It's easier than walking around Walmart. So we do the Walmart pickup, and then I'm jumping in the car. The minute I jump in the car, my phone is like 12 minutes to Walmart. I'm saying, dang, like, and how do you know I'm in the car? You know what I mean? Like, I could have been in the house. 12 minutes to Walmart. Like, I'm leaving for the gym. 13 minutes for the gym, and it's like, wait a
Yeah.
minute.
It's weird. But
Yeah.
if you don't think that's weird, if then you can use the journal app in your phone. So there's always a way to carve it in. That way, if you're on the go, depending on like what your day to day commute looks like, then you can do it that way. Some people like it's technically not journaling, but the same kind of thought of like a conscious stream if you like the voice memo and keep notes to yourself that way. I mean, I just think it's still good to like flesh out your thoughts in a succinct space. And then, it may be a space like Jelan said, you don't want to go back and listen to it. You just need to flesh it out. But I think there are some things that like even going back in the season, reflecting on, you'll be like, wow, like look how different my life is right now. Or if you go back and read it and be like, dang, I'm still doing the same thing from '08.
That's why I didn't read it back. I'm
That's
like, I'm still doing the same thing.
then
Like,
that'll let you know it's time to get on the good foot lollipop.
yeah,
So
but that kind of like a depressing thing, though. It's like you look back like a year ago, 2 years ago, and it's like, man, hopefully I could start drinking more water. And you look back 2 years ago, like, dang, I still ain't drinking no water. So,
it's time to get you a water bottle.
yeah, yeah. But another way to do it if you want it is actual video as well. I've seen a couple people do video wise, and usually what I do for video wise is when I think about like funny things for my solo podcast and this podcast, like everything I say is funny on here is not. I just thought about it. Like legit, I had this in my phone forever, so that's a little secret. But I legit record myself and like saying it because you think of something in your head, you write it down as different, but you want to make sure you deliver it correctly. So I'm recording myself saying it, trying to deliver it the right way. And then like, if that's not good, I would change the way I'm delivering, but I want to see myself back and like, okay, would this make somebody laugh? No. If it don't make me laugh, I go back to a week later and then it make me laugh. I'm not using it. You need something that's going to be funny a week later. Like that's going to be something really funny. Something in the moment, it ain't going to work. Why are you laughing? I'm just saying that's the way people do when like they're a comedian. They
Yeah.
legit write it out and then they recite it back. They go to one spot, people didn't laugh, okay, they cross it out, and then that's how like they last
They
set
do
is the
thing, yeah.
funniest set because it worked in one crowd but it didn't work in the other crowd. Same thing. I'm a comedian out here. That's what I do.
Yeah. Can't wait for your new Netflix special that's coming out next year.
But there is one more thing I want to talk about because I think feel like you about to end the episode already, or you had somewhere else to go.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So there's different types of journaling. So we talked about the first type was like kind of like stream of consciousness, and I know we kind of briefly talked about prompts. But there's another thing that I recently started was a gratitude journal. So we talk about being in a place where mentally you're not like great in like a great mental space. You could do a gratitude journal where you're legit just writing down everything good happen in your life. So for me, of course, I'm talking about my wife. I'm talking about my family, talking about my job, all these things that you kind of take for granted, but it makes you think positive thoughts because your mind is, that's a very sacred place. So just writing down everything you're grateful for, now you're looking at things in a positive way instead of the other way. It's just like everything you're writing down is negative, you're gonna have a negative outlook. So I think I've been doing it for a few days. I've been writing kind of the same stuff in there, like my wife, but I'm gonna find some new things. But yeah.
Yeah. I think it's cool. Like I said, having just like a diverse way of correlating your journal. And even that, like, don't wait for a moment where you need it. Like you could be in a season where a whole quarter, everything feels good. And you're just writing like my life, my health, my strength, my salvation, my spouse. And you're just thinking like, oh man, that's so normal to encounter someone who's recently become a widow or someone who's lost their job. Like, and so little things become bigger things in the wide perspective of life. So yeah, I mean, write that gratitude journal, take those moments in your day to think about the things you're grateful for, do that stream of conscious journaling. If there's areas in your life you want to improve, even if you're like, thinking about writing a whole business plan is stressful, like just sort of flesh it out. There's creative things that I want to do for like sharing more, encouragement and word of God for women. I feel called to, and it's like right now I don't know what it looks like in full, but I can at least journal, flesh it out, try to write some loose things until I feel like it all comes together for what I'm gonna do. So again, write the vision, make it plain. Try to start fleshing out those ideas and those thoughts. That way you have something to anchor to as you're trying to build something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so we have been reading the Bible right now. We're in Exodus, and we're reading a part where God is giving Moses direction, and in there it said Moses wrote down. I don't have it perfect, so people don't
I think
know.
it's Exodus 24:4
I think we just read it.
because we just read it. Yep, Exodus 24:4. We're gonna pop it up on the screen.
Good, so they don't try to beat me up because I got the words wrong.
But yeah.
Are you gonna read it right now?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want me to read?
just read
Okay.
it, yeah.
I mean, it's really what you said, though. And then Moses carefully wrote down all the Lord's instructions. So that's the first part of the scripture. The second part, it starts talking about him building an altar and setting them up for the 12 tribes of Israel. But, y'all get the gist.
Yeah, but mainly just writing it down, so you making sure you're doing it right. And then what I think about like my solo podcast. So this is more free flowing because we get to talk back. We still organize, have an outline for it, but for mine, I legit have a script on exactly what I'm gonna say, when I'm gonna say it. So I'm writing it down ahead of time to do it. And another person that I think about, like, that was writing and actually became famous for writing, is Tyler Perry. It's like, I don't know if you remember those plays where he had Medea and all these different plays. He kind of wrote down in his journal the stuff he was going through, like different traumas and everything, and actually put it in place. So journaling, I'm not telling you you're gonna be the next Tyler Perry, but just put your stuff out, and you never know what you can use.
Look, yeah. I mean, I used to love in high school my creative writing class. And yeah, like,
She was nice. Look, I read, like, she keeps her stuff. I read it. I'm like, she was spitting out here. I ain't know. She
I
was
have
spitting.
poetry journals. I was determined I was going to be a songwriter. And so I have those songs, which, honey.
It was fine. It was about some random guys. I'm gonna find them and meet them up. But yeah.
But you never know. You never know where those dreams or aspirations can go. So definitely write those things, cultivate those dreams, because yeah, like it's really wild thinking about just those things that you're not even aware of, and when you start putting them to paper, start cultivating these ideas and these thoughts and these emotions together, the fruits of what that can be. So yeah, who knows? You might be the next Tyler Perry.
Might be, but
You
yeah,
might be something completely different.
yeah, and I think the reason why I also like really want to push like writing things down, because it's like something that's just gonna be on top of mind. Like you're good in with so many different things. Like something you can do is like legit have a dream journal. It's like, I want to get married, I want to get a house. Like so many things we've done, but it's not nowhere that we haven't wrote it down before. Where now it finally came. So you might be in a season where you might not think anything is possible right now, but you write it down, keep writing down, keep having it in top of your mind. What you see in your mind is gonna be visible. So
Yeah. So, especially we always love to marker we are heading into September, so right around the corner from Q4. And so it's, some people wait till the very beginning of the year to start doing things. Don't lose sight of what can happen in 4 months.
4 months is a long
That's a long
time.
time.
It's a
Yeah.
long
So, get your journal, go to Marshalls, go to Home Goods,
TJ Maxx,
TJ Maxx,
Walmart, Target.
get you a journal, get you some nice pens, pencils if you like, and start writing. You never know, like, the way it could help your mind, start directing your vision, give you clarity on things. And you might look back by the time 2025 hit, and it's like, dang, I'm glad I didn't wait to 2025. Like,
Yeah.
I'm already getting direction and instruction from God that I needed 2024.
Yeah.
So,
No, you're right. Yeah, we got engaged, married in less than 4 months. So, well,
Yeah.
not being together total time, but just.
but yeah, that process of all that happened. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 months. Oh, shoot.
Yeah. I had a journal full of all that stuff too. Journal, spreadsheets, Canva documents, you got to keep it organized.
All right. You can wrap it up, baby.
All right. Well, if you are still listening, we ask that you like, comment, subscribe,
Get a journal.
get a journal. We want to, just encourage that space of seeing things come to life in your life. And so I hope this inspired you to take some time to write the vision, make it plain. All right. Until next time, this has been Charnae Janice Abrams, Jelan Abrams, unknown and talented behind the scenes. Be easy.
Good
You did it
job.
with me?
Yeah.
Cute. You're so cute.